Okay, I'm going to do a few of these Latin 3 because it's a really fun story, and I've got the time. It's only, what is it, 11:35. So there we go. So now we're on chapter 68, the magic ointment, which is kind of the first time you see probably essential oils being used in mythology. And we start our story with Medea. So Medea, the daughter of the king, that's King Aeetes, fell in love with Jason. And when she heard that he was going to undertake such or undergo such a danger, she bore the matter badly. For she knew that her father had offered this task from his own plan so that Jason would die. While things were thus, and by the way, quae cum ita essent is a very common phrase. It's something that Richie uses a lot, but it just basically means when things were this way or while things were happening like this. So while things were such, Medea, who had the greatest knowledge of medicine, entered into this plan. In the middle of the night, with her father not knowing, she escaped out of the city, and afterwards she came into the neighboring mountains. Now, here's where Richie's kind of screwing up here. He uses montis, and he means it as montes. So I take the Montes Finitimos to be the neighboring mountains or the nearby mountains. I have seen translations where she ends up going to like the summit of the mountain, the highest part, the Finitimos of the mountains, the highest or the furthest parts of the mountains. And some people have even translated that as going the other way, as the foothills. But I do think that because Richie's not very good at using third declension plurals, that this is the neighboring mountains. So, and afterward she came into the neighboring mountains. She snatched up or picked certain herbs. Then with the essence, no, it's probably too much like your Aunt Janet at Thanksgiving. With the juice squeezed out, she prepared an ointment, which through its own strength would enervate the body and strengthen the nerves. Think tiger balm. Once this was done, she gave the ointment to Jason. She ordered, moreover, that he, on the day of which the labors were supposed to be completed, or the day for completing the labors, on the day of which the labors were supposed to be completed, she ordered that he smear it on his body and his weapons. Jason, even though he was greater in size than almost everyone, and in the strength of his body, or even though he excelled almost everyone in the size and the strength of his body, for he had spent most of his life either in hunting in hunting and in the study of military affairs. You might remember he lived with a centaur who was also a doctor, so he learned all about the body and things like that from the centaur of disease control. However, he realized, or he thought, that he ought not neglect this plan. And that's the end of the magic ointment. Stay tuned in about 3 minutes for the sewing of the dragon's teeth, because it just gets cooler and cooler. I'm going to push the button now.